Om Shanti. Today's Murli is about faith. And usually, or what usually always, and it applies to everyone across, the whole world. When they hear faith in God, there is only one thing that pops in the mind, which is God will take care of everything. Yes, so we understand faith in God like that. So, faith in God means you just leave everything to God and then God will do it. But that's not faith, that's laziness. Okay, so we have to understand. So, I will start with this Arabic saying, there is a very good saying in Arabic countries, and so, they ride camels there. And when it's night time, they have to tie the camel. And then somebody asks somebody that, should I tie the camel or should I leave it to God? So, should I just have faith in God that God will take care of the camel, or should I tie the camel? Then the wise man answered that, tie the camel and leave it to God. So it's not like you don't do your karma and you just have faith in God. So that's one thing. But when the question of God arises, then God is the ocean of knowledge and He teaches us, educates us about karma. And when we say faith in Baba, so faith in God meant that because we didn't know anything about Baba and it was just an abstract idea, and then that someone will just take care of everything. That was the idea. But in Gyan, when we say faith in Baba, it means something else. And faith in Baba means complete faith that Baba who resides in this soul world, I who reside with Baba in this soul world, and then, I came down, I took 84 births, I got depleted, and then Baba has come from the soul world and is teaching me how to prepare to go back and come back to a new world. And I have faith in everything Baba tells me about the creation of the new world. Baba is telling me that karma is created when we use our body, mind, wealth, time, energy, relationships. So karma is created through all of this. Karma is created through seeing, hearing, talking, thinking. So Baba is teaching us everything about karma, and Baba is teaching us that you have to do karma with Baba and on the directions of Baba in order to be eligible to go back and come to a new world. So what faith in Baba now means is faith in everything that Baba says. Faith in the power of yoga, faith in the power of purity, faith in the power of seva, faith in the power of surrender. So everything. And then Baba says, many children, Baba today specifically says, Even children who have been 10, 20 years in Gyan don't have faith. And faith is very important because faith is the bridge between knowing and action. So, you hear something, but until and unless you have faith, you will not apply it. So, let's take very simple things. Somebody gives you a cream, face cream. You don't have faith in the person who is giving it to you. You don't apply it on your face. Even if the face cream is very good and it can do wonders to your face, you will never apply it because you don't have faith. It's not about the cream, it's not about the person, it's about the faith. So, faith is very important, and Baba says that because of lack of faith, you are hearing the Murli every day, but then what stops you from earning your inheritance? So, and today Baba uses this fantastic word insurance. And there is an insurance company and they say, Zindagi ke saath bhi, zindagi ke baad bhi. So in this life and after this life, but there is no insurance for after this life. Yes, so no insurance company can give you the return after this life, but they say that. But the interesting thing about insurance is if you don't have faith in death, you don't have faith in insurance. If somebody says, I will never die, or I don't care what happens after my death, so A, I will never die, and then B, I don't care what happens after I am dead. I don't care for what continues to be when I'm gone, then insurance makes absolutely no sense. And here also Baba says, you must know that you will leave your body. And insurance is a method where you invest in the present and reap a benefit in the future. And of course, you don't reap the benefit, those who stay behind reap the benefit. But you care for them, so you do it. Now, don't you care for yourself? You care for others, you insure for them, but what about insurance for yourself? So I, the soul, have to leave the body, and then I, the soul, have to continue my journey. And when I leave this body, then after that, what I have insured in this life according to Baba's Srimat will stay with me, and everything else will just go away. And Baba says everything else will finish. So all those vaults and where you're stashing your money and your jewelry and whatever, all that is going to just be here, and you're not going to take advantage of that. But if you ensure that on Baba's Srimat, use it for spiritual seva. And not just money, but even the time that you have and the body that you have, if you just use it for seva, you're going to get the benefit of that after you leave the body. So Baba says, but I told you faith and insurance are connected. Caring for yourself, believing that the life continues after I leave this body, I take another body, and whatever I do in this body with what I have, accordingly I will get in the next birth. All these things have to be, there has to be faith in all of it. So faith in Baba means faith in all that he says. And there is a very beautiful saying, God is what God says. So Baba tells us a lot of things. So faith in Baba means faith in everything he says. When he says it is a 5,000-year cycle and you are in the end and now you leave the body, then you start afresh. And when you start your journey in Satyug, then whatever you do in Sangam Yoga, accordingly you get there. So we have to have faith in all of that. And then we have to have faith in the power of Seva and the power of Yoga and the power of purity that Baba tells us to have faith in. And so before I, talk more about this, Baba today says in the Murli that in the world also people say that time is eternal. So, time is eternal. And eternity means you cannot figure out the beginning and the end. But then they say time is eternal. They say no beginning, no end. But they don't know how that eternity is practically manifested. So, Baba today points out a very important thing that, when people say that time is eternal, then they will say that you are always somewhere in the middle. Okay, so there is some open-ended spectrum here and some open-ended spectrum there, and then you are always somewhere in the middle because it's eternal. And when you're in the middle, you don't care. Right? So that's the approach people follow. So endless time, so no beginning, no end, no problem. But Baba specifies what eternity means. Eternity means cyclic. And Baba says the cycle repeats as soon as it reaches the end. That's why it is eternal. Because there's eternal repetition. But there is a beginning, middle, and end. So every cycle has a beginning, middle, and end. And then as soon as the cycle reaches the end, there is again repetition. So that way it is eternal. Doesn't mean there is no beginning, middle, and end. There is a beginning, middle, and end, and there is also eternity. But people don't get this. So in the world, nobody knows this secret about what eternity really means. So Baba says, I give you the knowledge that you begin from Satyug and then you deplete yourself and then you reach Kali Yuga end, and then somebody has to come to reset the whole thing. And then I come and I teach you the karma, whether it is karma of the mind, karma of the word, karma of the body, karma of the wealth, karma of time. I teach you karma that you do with these energies. And I teach you how to do karma differently so that the cycle can be reset. Because when we all reach degradation, we need somebody from the outside who can set it right. And B, that somebody is akarta abhokta, which means he doesn't come into the, he doesn't get binded by the law of action and fruit of action. So he teaches us how to do this so that we can reset the cycle and then again go back to being on day one. And Baba says you have to have faith in this whole process. That actually there is a cycle and then you are at the end of the cycle, and Baba has come from the true Shivalaya where you and Baba live. And he has come to create a Shivalaya here now. And he's teaching us how to do that. And we have to do as he says so that we go back to being who we are and where we belong. And Baba says you have to have faith in the nature of this cycle and how it repeats and how Baba has to come and do his act of teaching us, educating us, empowering us so that we can go back to day one. And only when we have that faith, then we will decide to do as Baba says. So I think there are two things, decision to be a yogi, decision to be pure, and decision to use everything that I have for seva. So there is one thing called decision, and then there is another thing called winning over your sanskars. Okay, so after we make the decision, the struggle starts. But faith at least drives us towards the decision. At least when we have faith, the first step of making the decision is done. And only then do we struggle with Maya. Before that, we are surrendering to Maya, and Maya is actually an excuse to not do what Baba says. But after we make the decision, then we are really fighting with Maya. Then we are really trying to understand. And I will tell you one thing, it's not easy. Like, when you take a decision also, because we have 63 births of sanskars, it's a journey. But the journey begins when you make the decision. And sitting in the class doesn't mean you've made the decision. This decision is a very private thing. What you do in the privacy of your mind, how you're using your body, how you're using your time and money, only you know. Only you know how honest you are with Baba. And when we make the decision, after that, the journey starts. And then you will understand how, this alignment between action, utterance, and mind is so difficult to achieve. Because, even if you have made a decision and you're creating the right thoughts, sometimes your actions will not match, and then you will fight and then you will win because you are with Baba now. But when you are not with Baba, you have not even decided, then there is no fighting, no winning. Then you are in the lap of Maya, and Maya is just, singing that sweet song to you, and you are hearing the sweet lullaby of Maya and going into sleep. So it's very important to understand that this decision has to be made, and then this decision has to be seen through. But before seeing it through, we have to at least make the decision. Okay, so that's the first thing. And faith helps us in that. So, do you have faith? Ask yourself this question. Do you have faith in Baba, and do you have faith in what Baba is saying? And do you understand the power of every karma that Baba is teaching? So that's there. And then Baba today says that it is said, second mein Jivan Mukti. So liberation in life in a second. So liberation in life in a second, what does it mean? So, there are many children of Baba who have been with Baba for 20 years, 30 years, and then they say that I don't feel the liberation in life that Baba talks about. I don't feel the state of Jivan Mukti that Baba talks about. Because Jivan Mukti in a second, liberation in life in a second, is about the second you have firm faith in Baba. And not that faith, Baba will take care, not that kind of faith. When you have firm faith in Baba that, yes, Baba has come from the soul world and whatever he's teaching me is the truth, and I have to, work on that and claim my inheritance. When you make that decision, then it is called Jivan Mukti, because from that second onwards, you are never alone. And from that second onwards, you always feel that you are in Baba's vision and sustenance, and you are not alone on this journey. And this journey is not a struggle, it's with Baba, and you may struggle with your sanskars, but then because you receive the support and help of Baba, that's why even in that love for Baba and in that companionship of Baba, that struggle doesn't feel like a struggle. It feels like something you're doing out of love. And there's a very beautiful expression that people in the world use for this: labor of love. So, labor of love is never difficult. And that's why when you have faith, from the moment you have faith, it is Jivan Mukti. So Baba says, second mein Jivan Mukti is very true, but then it doesn't happen, it's not like once you take the course, you are Jivan Mukt. No. Once you have faith, you are Jivan Mukt. And then, of course, to achieve complete Jivan Mukti, to go to Satyug, we have to finish our old accounts, and that takes time, and we do it. But we do it with Baba, so it's never a problem. And then Baba today says that, souls who come later, they get very fine points of knowledge, and knowledge is getting, clearer and clearer. And then also the drama. So you see that I remember that when we used to earlier give the course and tell people that there is a Vinash coming, then they used to laugh at us. But now, drama is also showing glimpses. And that's why, people, when they listen to knowledge these days, and especially the knowledge of time, then they don't question too much that this is the end of Kali Yuga. And of course, everybody is number wise, not everybody is the same. But then Baba says that as time gets closer and closer, then this faith in what Baba says will become easier. And we can see that. And now when children come to Baba, it's easier for them to, be in Jivan Mukti. They realize that as soon as I came to Baba, my world changed, because now we have faith very easily. Of course, it's not the same for everybody, but yes, it is much easier these days. And then today, Baba says that, so Baba also talks about how people are making plans. And then there is this Hindi saying, Nar chahat kuch aur and aur ki aur bhai, which means man plans so many things, and then what is planned in the drama is very different. Yes, and then Baba says, people are making so many preparations, to live longer, to correct things around them, to turn it around. But then Baba says, now the plan of drama is different. So instead of making those preparations, you must prepare to get ready to go back. Yes, so there is a time for everything. So, there is a time for repair. So, when you live in a house and the house is going through some depreciation every year, so until a time, repair work is possible. So it is still able to take the blows of the hammer and the chisel, and you can still repair it. And then there is a time when you have to understand that this is beyond repair and I have to detach from it. Because if you be attached to something that is beyond repair, then you are destroyed with it. So there is a time to repair, there is a time to detach. And sensibility means doing the right thing at the right time. So Baba says that now people are still, people think that being hopeful and being wise is all about keeping, you keep trying desperately to repair everything. And when you do that, it's an aspect of ego, because there is no balance of effort and surrender. So there has to be this balance of effort and surrender. So when Baba says Purusharth and drama, so many people don't understand effort in the world, and many people don't understand drama in the world, and many people don't understand that both work together. So some people say it is all predestined, so why do anything? Some people say karma is everything, so I can change everything. So they don't know how much to make effort and when to surrender. So Baba says, there was a time to make effort in that direction. So, there was a time to make repairs and try to correct things on the external. You did that. The scriptures, medical science, everything helped you for that. Man's creation is beautiful. You did the work, but now it's time to use your energy, body, mind, and wealth to make preparations to go back and earn an income which you will get back in your next life. And Baba says, now don't try to be desperate on the external. And I will tell you one thing, there was this one brother, and he's a Kumar, and he is studying, and he told me, Didi, I'm studying really well, but I have this backache. And because of this backache, I'm so inhibited that I can't study. And these days, I feel that I am cursing my back more than studying. Like during the day, most of my thoughts are engaged in how unfortunate it is to have a bad back than my whole focus being on study. And then I visit doctors and I take medicines, and I'm making a lot of attempts to make this right, but this is not getting right. So I said, and you have decided that if this doesn't get right, I'm not studying. So I said, Didi, it's inhibiting me. So I said, no, you are not trying to free your thoughts from it. Look at the direction of your effort. So, all your effort is going into getting that right. But if you put in the same effort, same amount of effort to disengage your thought from your back, then you will be more successful. And Baba says that that's the effort you have to make now. Be an observer to everything, because it is what it is, and it is not going to change just like that. It will require a whole new, this whole change from Kalyug to Satyug will require a Vinash, and all the five elements of nature getting renewed. It's not a small process. So Baba says, don't go into that now. Now you make effort to detach yourself from wherever your man and buddhi is anchored, and then use your body, mind, and wealth to create the karma that the benefit of which you will reap in the next birth. So that's why Baba says today, people have many plans, but drama has its own plan. And then Baba says, I have come, and Baba says that you can do a lot of service on the birthday of Shiv Baba. So Shiv Jayanti is coming, and you see people in India especially, we all celebrate Shiv Jayanti. We say that Shiv Baba came, so there is this, coming of God, birthday of Shiva, and it is celebrated in a unique way where you don't show the birth, you show the marriage, and then you say Shivratri because he comes to change the night into the day. So send out the message that God has practically come. It's not just stories and scriptures and praising that he comes. No, he has actually come. And he has come to shift the world by shifting our consciousness and shifting our actions. So send this message. And then Baba today says that storms of Maya will come because, and I told you that first there is faith and a decision to do as Baba says. And then there are lots of storms of Maya because 63 births we have done what Maya dictated, and now we are on a different track. Our whole sanskars, our body, everything is against it. So you see, you start eating sattvic food before the body feels better, it feels worse for some time. So, and you start, meditating before you feel fresh, you feel sleepy. So there is a lot of struggle, so you have to figure out your way and, persevere until you are at that place where you start seeing that what Baba is saying is natural and true. Because habits are called second nature, and our habits are against our original nature, and our habits create an illusion that we are doing something unnatural. So celibacy looks unnatural in the beginning, and You have to persevere until it starts making sense that this is the most natural thing to do. So Baba says that storms of Maya will come and you have to see through it, because it's not easy. It's the shift of the whole cycle. It's renewing everything that's gotten old and rotten. So it's not going to be that easy, that smooth. So you have to persevere in the storms. And then Baba today says that it is not a matter of being poor or rich. So it's not about whether you're poor or rich. If you insure yourself, you get the inheritance. It's about whatever you have. It's not about how much you have. But it is about whatever you have. So Baba says that, but I don't have to give wealth to the wealthy. They are already wealthy. It is heaven for them here. They are millionaires. Earlier, hardly anyone was a millionaire. Now people have millions hidden away in walls. However, none of it will be useful anymore. None of it will be useful to anyone. The stomach doesn't need a lot. Those who accumulate wealth by cheating are probably unable to sleep. They worry in case the government comes to carry out a search. The father says, remember that this is the final time. Some people's wealth will now be buried underground, and some people's wealth will be looted by the government. Those who use it in the name of the Lord are able to use it in a worthwhile way. And the Lord is now making you into the masters of heaven. You now have to insure yourself with the Father. Death is just ahead. Okay, so this is something that Baba says. And I will tell you one thing. So I always tell in the class that in Kali Yuga, everything is a liability, because everything is impure. And there was this question that somebody said, okay, relationships are mostly a liability, and the body also, these days, because it gets old. But then how is wealth a liability? So you see, Baba today tells us that mostly wealth is earned by impure methods, or you don't pay taxes on it, or something. And then you're always afraid. And then it gives you sleepless nights. And then it takes away your state of peace in your final moments. So that's also a liability. And everything that is a liability can be changed into an asset if we invest it in Baba's Yajna. So this is what Baba says. So if you do Tan Seva, you will get a healthy body in Satyug. If you serve through the mind, you will get a peaceful and happy mind. If you serve through your wealth, Baba will use this wealth which is giving you sleepless nights and create your fortune of Satyug for you. So Baba says, ensure now. Now you will not be able to use it for yourself. And these days travel is also becoming so difficult that the most, the fastest method to spend wealth is now gone, almost gone. So now mostly we will not be able to use it. So Baba says, just do seva. So, but you have to have faith in death, and you have to care for yourself for that. And that has to be very clear. And then in the slogan, Baba says, those who consider themselves to be Purush, which is soul, and make everything happen through their Rath are true Purusharthis. So Purush is the soul and Rath is the body. So if I am always in the awareness that I am the soul doing everything through my body, that's called Purusharth. So the Purush uses the Rath, that's Purusharth. And when you are in body consciousness, that is against Purusharth. Okay? Om Shanti.